Hey, man, it's Thursday night. ATL Flag Football Podcast, and we are back in the building, man. It's your boy Low, man. Next to me, of course, is Mr. 5-Star Sports himself, Nova State's own James Reese. What up, James?
What's going on? Definitely behold. Yeah.
Yes, sir. We just finished out week 2 of season 11 of 5-Star Sports, man. The one and only 8-man contact league in ATL. How about that?
Yeah.
So, James, as always, man, we like to jump in some off the field stuff before we dig into week 2. Mm-hmm. So a lot of stuff been going on, man. First, let's talk briefly about the inner feud between, I don't call him El Presidente, I call him their Presidente. Their Presidente, 45-47, and the man that got their Presidente in office, Elon Musk, and this Twitter feud, man. What's your thoughts on this Twitter feud that was going on?
So I don't even know where it's at right now. I've heard about it. Mm-hmm. I know they're going back and forth. They're no longer friends, obviously. But it's just silly, honestly. It's expected, though. Donald's a dummy. And, Elon thought probably that he was going to be able to get in there and do what he wanted to do. But I think the problem was he started to show Donald up too much. And then Donald don't like that because the spotlight was no longer about him. It was on him because he was being clowned, but it wasn't about him. And, yeah. And, J.D. Vance never liked him anyway. We've been heard those leaked audios. So,
but for that matter, J.D. Vance didn't like Trump either, so.
You absolutely right. I'm surprised he ain't trying to get rid of him, so he can be in charge.
Yeah. So, but what about the Tesla stuff, man? About shutting down production of Tesla in the United States and all that stuff, man. I mean,
wow, I had not heard that.
Really?
So, is it Elon threatening or Donald threatening?
No, Donald Duck is threatening to shut down Tesla production in the United States because of all the internal beef and the fact that once the man said Donald's in the Epstein files, that hurt his feelings.
He did say that. I remember that.
Yeah, that hurt his feelings pretty bad.
Ooh,
because he told the truth. Because we already knew he was in the Epstein files. I mean, everybody knows that, John.
Mm-hmm.
But
wow, I didn't know that. That'll be interesting.
It seems like it's a cat fight going wild.
It's a big cat fight. But what could be the consequences behind it? What can Elon because we know he has information, we know he has something at this point. What could he do now that could totally disrupt Donald and make it bad for him if it gets, if they get to fighting too much?
Well,
and then what will Donald links he will go to through to shut Elon up? Will now Elon's citizenship get in question? Will he be arrested and deported to Bolivia or Chile? Or something?
What about all those newly minted South Africans that Donald just brought in on Elon's behest? All 50-something of them that all look the same complexion as Elon, but. But all of a sudden they're being tortured. But forget all the other folks that have been tortured and all this stuff for years. Them folks didn't they ain't have a hair missing out of place, man. I don't know. When they came in the country, they looked like they had a hair missing out of place, man. So I thought that was very, very interesting. But I said Tuesday night, man. I'm not 100%. I'm not 100% sold on it because you know how they like to. Do the cat mouse trick, you know what I mean? Where they got you focused on one thing while something else is happening. Because, let's face fact. Elon, you gave the man total control of the entire country for about a month or two. Mm-hmm. You let him send all his 19, 20, 22-year-olds in in government buildings gather all kinds of data. And we have no idea what they've gathered.
And when they go use it,
They blocked out elected congressmen and Senate members from even entering federal buildings, which was unheard of. Should be on my desk. Yeah. So yeah, man. I thought it was very, very interesting. All that stuff that went down over there. But you had something earlier. You were talking about something that happened today with another politician.
yeah. So the Senator Alex Padilla, a Democrat out of California, went to the Department of Homeland Security's, the Secretary's office, and was demanding answers about these illegal deportations and all of the stuff that's going on in Los Angeles. And they attacked him. They forced him to the ground, handcuffed him, dragged him out, and then arrested him. A senator, sitting senator. And of course, they claimed they didn't know he was a senator and he was missing his little specific senator pin he's supposed to wear, and they knew not who he was. But it's just another attempt to silence and threaten and intimidate the people to get what they want. I think they knew who he was. I think they know who all the Democratic senators that don't agree with them are. But I think that this was a tactic to be like, look, let's just do this to him to make him scared, and maybe he'll shut up and won't come back with any noise. But, it just, again, goes to show just how far he's willing to go to try to do what he wants, which, goes back to what we've always said. Now is not the time to be quiet and claim that your voice don't matter. I get so annoyed at this point where I just don't even want to be friends with people that say that nowadays. Back before, you just like, it was ignorance, but now it's just super ignorance and just nothing. I don't even want to have a conversation with you. You're just too dumb for me.
Yeah. Yeah, I mean, so when you see these things, particularly all these things that are going on in California right now, I mean, what do you think about when you see the protests, some of the rioting, and how it's being depicted versus how we've seen how other things that nature are depicted?
Well, I think one of the things is that we have to be careful. I know we are upset. I know we want justice, but we have to be careful of how we go about to do it. Because what I saw when they were throwing the rocks at the police cars, I saw them throw a bicycle over a bridge at a police car. That's what Donald Trump wants, so that he can then use the military to say, this is why we have to do it. This is exactly the reason why I have to use them to shut you down. So we have to be careful when we go overboard with our anger. But we still got to get out there. We still have to make our voices heard. We still got to go. But we can't let them, as the old folks say, get your goat. You can't let them see you sweat. You have to maintain peace and order in all of your protests. Because if not, he's going to use it and say, this is why I have to deploy the military to stop you. This is why I can't let you have a voice, because you won't control it. And then next thing you know, we're in a full-fledged dictatorship.
It's interesting, I think, I don't know how you feel when you see all these, the Hispanic community, how so many of them, not necessarily California, because California is typically a Democratic state, but definitely Florida and Texas and some of these other places. Like they had the video of the lady who was all Donald Trump, the president, now she's crying wolf, like he lied to us, he did, but because
You should have known it.
Because a lot of them really believe that they're accepted in that community because they got their, I don't know, is it the long hair or just a little bit lighter, and this reality setting in.
And they felt like they were better than us.
Because they've been told that.
But you might have been told it, but now you feel it, But now I'm seeing all of these black and brown people, we need to stand together. Black and brown people, we need to stand together. Where were you at when we said stand together? Not being funny, but when we told you before the election, you didn't stand together with us then. Right. It's just so now, unfortunately, you're feeling the brunt of it before we are. You know, and one of the things I know, I feel slightly, not a lot, but I feel a little bad. But when he got elected, I prayed that I hope all those people that voted for him are the first ones to feel all the foolishness, so that now they can see. And I wanted to feel it in heart, not because I just wanted to be mean to the people, but sometimes, you know,
the reality.
You don't believe the stove is hot until you touch it,
right? And
then you get burnt. So now you're getting burnt. Now you gotta wait for it to cool down. So I'm sorry that it's happening, but we told you so.
And it ain't cooling down no time soon.
Everybody told you so.
It ain't cooling down.
And you know, as a matter of fact, they just protested on Buford Highway a few days ago. The Hispanic community out there, and it was peaceful. And then towards the end, you know, they got rowdy. They started throwing rocks and damaging stuff. Then, of course, they came, shut them down, and arrested some of them. But you know, the violence isn't the way to go to get your point across. But I fully support the peaceful protest, and I think that you have to. But you should have protested at the polls in November, so you wouldn't have to do this.
You know, that's always an interesting thing, what you just said. Violence is not the way, because there's the argument where no war, no true protest has been won without violence. You know what I mean? From a historical standpoint, it usually takes some level of violence for anything to really be accomplished. I'm just saying, just historically, it's, you know, we just look, you know, through history.
Well, maybe
what led to the civil, you know, what led to
would be unnecessary violence.
Yeah.
You throwing a rock at a police car on Buford Highway is not necessary violence.
Okay,
that's not the way. You know, if unfortunately it takes a mass, it takes a mass. You with a rock by yourself ain't it? Mm-hmm. You know, it's gonna, you know. So I guess that's what I mean. Okay. If you go do it, make it count. Okay. Don't do something that he can use against you to get his point across.
Okay. I can live with that. So real quick, one more thing I want to ask about. Did you see the BET Awards?
So I did not watch the BET Awards. I've not watched them in years, but I do have an issue with one of the awards,
which is what I was going to.
That was given out.
Is it Glorilla?
It was Glorilla.
Okay. What's your thoughts? I was going. That's why I was asking the question. Did you watch the BET Awards? And what you think about Glorilla winning the gospel?
So I saw her speech, and you know, she asked for forgiveness for her accent. So we'll go with that. But Dietrich Haddon came out in a post, either Instagram, Facebook, or whatever, and he was very upset. And he said that, he felt like gospel artists need to, come against that because
protest.
Yeah, protest that, non-violently, but it does lessen the impact, especially since it wasn't just a regular award. It was some award named after a specific person that had meaning to it. And it's like, what's the best way to say it? Let me get an example. It would be like putting, I want to use examples, but people get so upset and offended. But okay, it would be like taking Rare Form and putting them in the Flag Football Hall of Fame because they won comp that one season. You haven't done enough. You did a feature on one song with a legend, and now all of a sudden you're getting an award? You're not even a gospel artist.
Right.
No, I mean, I just thought that was just egregiously stupid. It's diminishing the value of what the award was as well as the genre. It's just like how, and I know the agencies go come after me, how when the country music people didn't let Beyonce in just because she changed the tone of her voice on that album. And then you're not country, Beyonce, stop it. And that's not to say that black people aren't country, because it kind of started with us. You know what I'm saying?
Absolutely.
Blacks can always be country. But Beyonce ain't country just because she started singing and sounded like she was from Texas. You ain't been sounding like Texas all these years. You know, now you just want to try to add to your stardom. So let me go infiltrate over there. But yeah, no, I don't.
So there go Billy. You know somebody gonna say something about that. That's fine. Rare form. Let me give another example. Then take rare form out of it. It's like
Absolutely not.
it's like
That's why I changed to Beyonce.
yeah. It's like Billy being put in as the number one quarterback in flag football because he quarterbacked one game.
No, number one wide receiver
threw a
because he
touchdown
caught
in one
that
game.
pass down the middle of the field and ran and threw his hips a few times, and now all of a sudden he the all-star wide receiver over everybody because he caught a pass. Absolutely not.
I was just saying from a different position. He played quarterback. He threw the ball, but that don't make him an all-star quarterback because he threw the ball. That's a better example, Billy. How about that?
You know, that's why you can't use it because people swear you coming at them. But I'm just saying, you know, one time don't make you all of a sudden a great. You know,
Right. All right, man. We're gonna jump into week two of season 11, 5-Star Sports. Before we start, Jay, let me say this because I made a public statement last week, and I'm the bigger man that can say when I was wrong. And John approached me Sunday, stood there with a smile, because John is my boy. You know what I mean? I like John Victram. He's an all-time guy. So let me just say, I said it publicly that y'all had 9 people on the field. So I'm going to take it back publicly that I was wrong. Looking at the film, they did not. They won the game. We move on. I just hope the football gods allow us to see y'all again very, very soon. And I'm going to leave it at that. But you know.
So you saying you want me to put them on the schedule next
Please.
season? That's about when y'all go see each other.
Hey, listen, please do. Please do. But I want to just say that real quick, and now we move on. You can take it from here, James. Where we going?
Yeah. You know. So let me pull up the picks in the schedules from what y'all did last week. And
See, we had 9 to field this week. Nah, Billy, y'all done had 9. Definitely did have 9. We just played like hot garbage against y'all. I ain't gonna front. It was terrible.
what made you bring up John's name? It's not like he had any big plays or did anything.
I say because John is John is my boy. John came over there to us on the sideline, and he said, "Lo, was it 9 on the field?" And I said to John, I said, "I ain't gonna talk about it. I'm gonna wait till Thursday," because I said it publicly, so I had to come back publicly. So I didn't want to say it one-on-one. I wanted to make sure I said to him and the entire LOZ team. You know what I mean? So I said it publicly, so I come back publicly. That's how you handle it.
Okay. All right. So we gonna start out over at the comp field.
Y'all didn't hope Amos played, Billy. Stop that. Stop that now. We wasn't gonna get into that. We're gonna just give you the win, but don't say that.
So we opened up the day at Farrell High School. We had Big Swamp Bucks facing the surprising PNF. PNF was
The Krispy Kreme giving PNF, huh?
You know, they came in 2-0.
What up, Big John? Did you hear what I said, John? I told you I was gonna say it. I said I was gonna wait to Thursday, buddy. That was for you. Go ahead.
Having not given up a single point at all. You know, after week 1, they had the overall number 1 offense. Number 1 defense and the number 1 team overall. So, you know, not just it was surprising. Not to say that they're not a good team, and their star has been on the rise. But they were coming out leading the pack. So, and then they were facing off with a Swamp team that wasn't quite big, and just had not been going through some changes. They were 1-1 the week before, so we were going to see what's going to take place this week. Let's say that. So looking at the picks, you, Angelo, and Dwayne and Billy all took PNF. I'm not sure, why you didn't think Swamp Bucks would be able to, overcome the might of PNF after just 2 games.
Right.
So the game took place, and Swamp Bucks came out there and got steamrolled, 19-0.
Dang, another Krispy Kreme.
And another Krispy Kreme,
Goodness gracious, PNF.
19-0. PNF is acting like they are in charge, and the comp division is going to run through them. That's what their play is saying so far. And they said, hey, we won the bowling challenge. Now we're going to go win the league. And it's just how it's going to start. So, come check for us.
Right.
So yeah, PNF took that win, 19-0. You guys all got your win on that. The next game we had the Crew.
Okay.
An established new veteran team.
An established new veteran team. That's funny.
Yeah, some of the players will call it the refs team because they had like 3-4 refs over there.
Right.
And then again, PNF 4-0. Now, this would be PNF history. They've never been 4-0 in our league. And Angelo, you did not believe they would be 4-0, so you picked the Crew. And Dwayne and Billy, I don't know what made you decide they were going to be 4-0, since it had never happened before, in league history. So they went out there, and Aldo played in this game too. Just like last week, he gets his knee gave out. He missed that pass. But another box of donuts on the table. PNF 4-0, 13-zip.
Another shutout.
Another 4 consecutive shutouts.
Wow.
4. I don't think anybody has done that.
Wow.
I mean, Miko said New Jack was going to do it.
I would have said.
But that didn't quite happen. But I don't think anybody said that PNF was coming out here pitching 4 straight shutouts.
Wow.
And so at this point, I think that we would have to start looking at the balance of power shifting from, the DOAs, the Uniteds, and the wannabe Raiders. I think we have to start putting some respect on that name, on those letters, paid in full.
4 straight shutouts is impressive.
Very impressive.
That's impressive.
So, definitely shout out to Mike and PNF and Rodney and, the work that you guys have put in. 4-0.
What's crazy is that they said to me at the banquet, they said, hey, we coming this year. He told me. He said, we coming this year. He said, you going to see us at the end of the season. He said it. He said they had the best player, young buck that was with him that got that award. He said, can't nobody stop him. And but he told me at the banquet, he said, we coming this year. He's proven it right thus far.
Well, he's coming. It's going to be the clash of the Titans is coming.
Well.
Because, that's a great, it's looking good over there so far. So then, Angelo, you took your first L this week.
All right.
So then the next game we had the Crew at Swamp Bucks. Both coming into this game 0-1. I think everybody chose the veteranness of the Crew over the lowliness of what we perceive to be the Swamp Bucks. This game right here. I'm trying to remember because I was there for this game, I think. But was this the? Oh yeah, this was the close. This was a close game, an intense paint dry battle, but it was a 1-point score. If I remember, this is the game that Doe slipped up on. I think this was it, or he got tired. But then, unfortunately, Swamp Bucks do not have DJ back yet, so they can't quite rely on his elusiveness that he used to come out there with. But Swamp Bucks won this game 7-6. Who?
You said 7. Wait a minute. Who'd you say won?
Swamp Bucks won this game 7-6.
What?
Yes, Swamp Bucks swamping. So they was like, yeah. So that was, I'm not going to lie, we were surprised on that. I didn't quite expect the crew to come out 0-2.
Wow.
This Sunday, but they did.
Wow.
So shout out to Swamp Bucks for the upset win.
Swamp Bucks got the W. Who picked who on that one?
Everybody picked the crew.
Everybody picked the
So
crew.
everybody got a loss.
Dang. I got 2 losses in 2 games. Dang.
Next game on the agenda was Zoo versus the At. Everybody chose the At, and it was the Raiders. The Raiders still trying to put it together.
That's Anton, ain't it?
Yeah.
Okay.
Hey, is this Zoo in the Raiders?
That must be Zoo then.
No.
Who Anton quarterbacking for?
Swamp Bucks.
Anton quarterback for Swamp Bucks?
Oh, we got to call in.
Is that right?
Yeah, Anton took his talents away from the Zoo.
Oh, man.
Who we got with us tonight?
Who we got on the line?
Hey, what's up, Johnny? How you gonna say Doe took a slip up and you the game on right behind your head and I got on referee clothes?
Look,
So you just said that lied on me. Nah, don't lie on me with the game on behind your head, Johnny.
Doe was reffing on Sunday. He won't play. Doe won't play.
I played one drive at the end of the game versus Swamp Bucks because I felt we could have won that game. And if you look at my one drive, give me my props. That's the only drive I played the whole day.
Oh, that's Petey. Is that Petey?
Those.
Yeah, that ain't me.
So tell us about that game. Because I think I had left to go back over to Carver, so I was ad-libbing.
You weren't never there. I'm going to tell you the truth. You weren't never there.
So tell us what happened in the game.
I told you he a football historian, man. I told you, man. That man right there is a football historian, brother.
Listen, the game all right behind you, John. You can see what happened. Just watch the game.
I ain't got time for all that. How'd y'all lose by a point?
They scored one more point than we did. We dropped the extra point. We dropped the extra point, and they won. One of my teammates, but I ain't gonna throw my teammate under the bus.
But no, but I was told that play was designed for you, but then you didn't play, so then it couldn't work.
Nah, that was a totally different play than the one from a week ago. And the ball was high a week ago, so don't keep talking about that play. Hey, man, I'm finna enjoy the rest of the show, man. But I just want you to stop blaming it on me, because people going to be thinking I was the reason. Because you keep saying my name.
Don't say don't do that. You say don't do that to him. That's what's
No.
up. That's what's up, man.
All right, man. Y'all have a good one.
Yeah, nah, Doe ain't play. He was in referee uniform last week.
Hilarious.
Let me see. Clash of the Titans.
Dang, John, you ain't swing him like that, did you, John? John say, who the Titans? Dang. Oh, man.
Let's see, who is this? Okay. So let's see what we got. What we got?
Swamp Bucks with the W.
So yeah, Swamp Bucks took that win in that game.
So who made the...
Oh no. We was at the Raiders and Zoo.
No, what? Everybody picked the crew, you said.
Everybody picked the Crew.
Okay, yeah, the Raiders and Zoo. All right.
Yeah, so and then everybody picked the Raiders in this game. And we had Raiders at a zoo.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, so we can this is the opening kickoff right here. Really wasn't a lot to see over here in this game. Raiders looked a little mid.
Raiders got purple on.
Yeah, Raiders wearing.
No, that's
I
Sydney
think
right
this
there.
thing is.
And that's it with the goggles.
Yeah, this is Sydney in one of their many uniforms. Let's watch how Sydney executes this offense. See how he pushed that back? Two-hand shovel pass.
That's what he do.
Let's see. I think this is the one where he went deep and connected for a 40-yard touchdown.
Who did?
Oh, no, that was Madden. My bad. Nah, this game won't nothing to talk about. It was 12-zip Raiders. Raiders won this one. Y'all all pick Raiders. Moving right along.
Yeah.
Raiders at DOA.
He did sound like Petey, didn't he, Billy?
I thought it was Petey for a
Yeah,
second.
that was old Doe.
But when he said that, I was
When he
like,
said don't blame me, he knew it was Doe at that point.
Yeah, that's. So the next game we have Raiders at DOA.
Okay.
Angelo, you and Billy picked Raiders.
Okay.
Dwayne picked DOA. This was one of our, what we expected to be one of our top games with contenders. DOA coming in as the defending regular season champs. Raiders coming in as the team that didn't make the playoffs and gave LOZ their championship. So they feel like they have a point to prove this season. They got their new quarterback who's, Flash, DOA coming back in with the same team, presenting a model of consistency. So this was a pretty low-scoring game, actually. Not a lot of fireworks, not a lot to see. Actually, it was only one score in the whole game.
Really?
Yeah, and a missed extra point. So this is this game right here. Tuck stepping in for Terrell. Let's see what he do. Little side pass, catch it, run out of bounds. I don't know. I think people are overusing the double quarterback. I'm sorry. I'm not saying it don't work, but I just think it's being overused. Like people are using it as a primary form of offense. And I just don't see it as being anything special when you overdo it. I think once you use it too much, people get adjusted to it.
You gotta know how to do it, and you gotta have a double that really can make magic. Yeah, I mean.
Yeah, not just somebody just go get over there, catch the ball, and throw it.
Yeah.
But anyway, DOA did not pull this one out. Raiders won this 6-0. So Dwayne, DOA got you that big old L this week. He got you your first loss of the week. So right now, Billy is leading. Billy is 1-2. He's 4-1. Angelo, you are 3-2. And Dwayne, you are 3-2 should be 3-2.
Yeah.
So Dwayne, Angelo, y'all are 3-2. Billy, you're 4-1. The next game, it was Zoo Atlanta at United. You know, United baffles me.
Okay.
You know, they play these games with these teams where we feel like they should just run away with it. And they don't. You know, they play these teams where you feel like, you know, this is the time for them to exert their dominance and, you know, beat them by 2 to 3 scores, and they don't. And this was one of those games. They did not, you know, execute a lot against Zoo. They couldn't put up the points to, you know, separate and secure the victory. They let Zoo linger around way too much. So I was really, again, shocked at this game and the fact that, again, another one-score game that, you know, should have been more than that based on the people that are lining up on the field.
Okay.
This was the United at Zoo game. You know? And so you don't expect United to come out there against a Zoo and not put any points on the board and walk away with a donut. And you don't expect Zoo to be out there handing out donuts. And they didn't. They lost 6-0.
Wow.
United won this game. But once again, I expect more from United out of this. You know, to go and be the top team in the conference, you're gonna need more than 6-0 wins against Zoo.
Right.
And again, that's not to try to take too many shots at Zoo, but when you're a dominant team, you're supposed to be a dominant team. You're supposed to dominate on the scoreboard. First of all, didn't nobody give us nothing. We took.
I was waiting on that comment, man. I knew somebody was gonna comment on that. I didn't think y'all gonna let that go unserved.
In the last game of the day at Comp, we had DOA and TYB.
We know everybody picked DOA on that. So we know everybody picked DOA on that.
Everybody picked DOA on that game, and everybody won on that game. DOA beat them 19-0. And so that's the kind of score that I look for when you have a team that say they're at the top playing a team that's not quite there yet. So come on, United. Those are the type of scores that I'm going to be looking for you.
Now TYB got beat last week, but you said they showed something. Do you know if they showed something against DOA as well, or?
So in this game, not really, because they were using the double quarterback system. But the problem was the quarterback was at Batman. The person catching the ball originally wasn't a quarterback. So therefore, by the time the ball would get over there to the Batman, who's the number one quarterback, there's really not a lot he could do with it. But on top of that, by the time the quarterback caught the ball, the rushers was like a step away because their center isn't a center. He was just somebody snapping the ball. So I don't know if you can pull that up. Oh, you ain't got that one up. But the ball, what I was noticing is that it's DOA and TYB. The ball was coming so slow. You know, it had no velocity on it. So by the time the quarterback, who wasn't really the quarterback, was able to secure the ball, the rusher was in his face. And then by the time he threw it over to the double quarterback, they had came down on him. So, I mean, they were trying new things. I applaud them for that. But they need to work on some of the get people in the right place.
Offense, man.
You know, and now right now they don't have the right center because, like, the quarterback couldn't line up 10, 12 yards off. He had to be, like, right behind them. So, therefore, you know, there's no space to really get away from the rusher.
So TYB didn't add any
Oh, no, they did. TYB had, like,
I was going to say
13 people on the roster last year. They got over 20 this season.
But what I was going to ask is, did they add any veteran leadership? They add anybody on the roster that really understands the game?
They added some pieces because I saw some stuff. This is one of the regular snap games, and that was a little better because see that's when they had the regular quarterback. But when he would go over to the double, you know, because like this guy came from DOA, I believe, and You know, it was a couple of pieces. You know, but again, as you can see, he has to be so close. There's not many people that's still playing 5 yards from the center. They don't do that much over in y'all league. They definitely don't. But this is again what you see over in the social league, 5 yards, because it's a delayed rush, or it's a screen. But you know, they're better when he's here versus being over to the side. You know, see how he stepped up in the pocket? I don't know what he just did on that play. Like, he left a blocker to go get a blocker he had missed, and then the blocker he left sacked the quarterback. Mm-hmm. So, I still say this was what I'm seeing is better than what I saw last season. And the effort seems to be there more. And, I still say that by the end of the season, they'll have a win. Well, actually, they did get their first win. In the next game against Goon Squad. So they won that game 10-0.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
So they got to win?
Uh-huh.
Wow.
Yeah. And then, they beat Goon Squad 10-0, and then United beat Goon Squad 10-0. So they do have a win.
Wow.
So over to Carver. Let's see.
So TYB ain't gonna be 0 for this year, huh?
No.
How about that?
So we have Carver. We opened up with Rare Form hosting Outsiders. I felt like this was a game that.
Oh, it was a forfeit. All right, Billy, you clear that up.
Billy, can you let the people have their win?
I wonder why I wasn't showing up on the schedule.
Billy, let them have
and then
the win.
And then the exact same score. I was like, what in the world? Okay.
Stop ruining that.
All right, that makes more sense.
Listen.
I'm just looking at the schedule like, damn, where they at though? I thought about, let's say, Goon Squad fell apart, didn't it? I guess they literally fell apart.
So the next game is Rare Form at hosting Outsiders. Rare Form really, really needed. Remember, I said if they don't win this game, they're going on life support. Outsiders want to win this game so they can continue with the consistency and get on track because they was 1-1 in week 1. Angelo, you and Billy picked the Outsiders. Dwayne, you picked Rare Form. You did. Maybe it was too early. I don't know. Maybe some people didn't show up. They hadn't had their morning coffee. But this was a 20-zip drubbing.
Wow.
Outsiders took this one personally. So I don't know, Rare Form,
And that's rare for Rare Form to get just whooped. They usually play everybody tight.
Go to the second or third play from that game, Dwayne. I want y'all to look at this. And this is where I wanna ask 1K to work on his the very beginning. The very beginning. This is further down. Like it's like literally the second or third play of the game. Pocket presence. And seeing go back. Like literally. I don't think it had gotten but 1 or 2 snaps off. And you'll see what I'm talking about. Okay, yeah, so it might be 2 plays after this. It can play out. Yeah, 2 plays after this. So
And see what the wrong way.
Mm-hmm.
Didn't follow his block at all.
It might be this play, actually. No, it's the next play. Yeah, because that was a stop. So it's this next play right here. And pocket awareness, reading what you see and not just, and learning how to slide and move around. Watch this. Because I think this is inexcusable for a veteran like him. He threw it right to him. He tipped it, picked it. You can't do that. Slide. One little slide gonna take him off his mark when he's rushing.
Because he'd already committed.
You can't stand right there and throw it exactly where you see that rusher is coming from, and you don't move. You didn't change the trajectory of the. You didn't lay it out over his head. You didn't sidearm it. You just threw it straight. He tipped it right to himself and caught it. Little nuanced mistakes like that is what I'm seeing that he has to, work on so that that type of stuff don't happen. Because that was the second play of the game, really, because the one before that was a penalty. So. And then I know
Number seven got smashed on that block, though.
Yeah.
You saw that? He got smashed.
But and then also
Right there. Ooh, took him off his feet, too.
This was an anomaly for the Red Form defense, too, because they don't tend to give up a lot of points. So I was surprised that it was a 20-0 loss versus a 7-0 or 7-6 or something like that. So, but, so right now, they on life support. This is a big
Midget
week.
Malik said they bit off more than they could chew.
Boys Elite. Who's that? What that mean? What that symbol is? Is that an eagle? I don't know what that means.
Yeah.
Boya. Oh, he played for Outsiders. I think. Okay, that's Boya.
They're flying. Yeah.
I just think they just got to go back to the drawing board, just focus on some of the fundamental basic concepts of what they're doing. As you saw, the receiver ran the wrong way. He could have gotten way more had he went outside.
Yep.
Don't try to create your own offense. Just take what the defense is showing you.
Yep.
And just work on fundamentals. That's all. But again. Yeah, they still in it. I don't think it's over for them. As far as I still think they can hang with the pros. They just got to put more points on the board on offense. But I think they can hang because their defense is really good. Next on the schedule we have Georgia Smoke. No. Rare Form at Joe World. Rare Form at Joe World. The house took Joe World. Nothing even see there. Everybody took Joe World. Rare Form, Again, at that point, you lose this game, let's go ahead and make plans for next season. Because it's unlikely you're going to win 6 straight and make the playoffs.
Say the champs are here.
But Joe World still working. This was the week Ziggy said the new season started this week because he didn't quite put on a good show last week. So this was his week. So like I said, you, Dwayne, and Billy all took Joe World. And with that being said, Joe World came out and unfortunately laid a goose egg. Rare Form won this 8-0. So again, their defense showed up, held the other team scoreless, and they scored 8-0. But again, I would like to start seeing Reds put up at least 2 scores a game because there is too many one-score wins for them. Championship teams going to have to put up more than 1 score. But that defense is still where it's at now. Unfortunately, they walked away with an injury at the end of last week to a key player. So hopefully...
I'm glad you retracted that one, KJ. I'm just glad you took that message back.
What did you say?
You took it off. That was just constructive criticism, bro. That wasn't nothing negative towards you.
Oh, I don't even see it no more.
He retracted it.
Oh, okay. And listen, y'all got to stop being so sensitive. I'm only saying what I see.
Yeah, that was constructive criticism.
It's just like what analysts do on any show. Y'all just see me and know me more than you do Stephen A. Smith and all that. I ain't hating on no team. I don't care which team wins. I just want somebody to win. But, I'm just telling you what I see. You take some of this criticism and you use it. And that's all. If you don't like it, pay it no mind. I ain't playing on your team. That's who we had. They did off more than making sure. Oh, okay. The next game we have Georgia Smoke at Outsiders. On this game, Dwayne took Outsiders. Billy and Angelo took Georgia Smoke.
You did. You did. You did, sir.
Stop saying that, Dwayne. You make it seem like so. Outsiders coming in off of a 20-zip shutout. Smoke coming in the first game of the day. This is a good test game for outsiders. This is a good, game coming in. If they want to repeat, they have to, win these type of games against these type of opponents. Smoke feel like they probably left something on the table last season and want to come out and show people that they're really that team. And this was a close game. This was a one-score game that could have went either way. So it's not really a lot of, it was a low-scoring game, but this was a defensive battle, not a paint dry. But Smoke won this one 8-7. And having that Wallace as a kicker for them extra points.
Paid off.
I think some teams know what happened when the kickers don't show up. So
Miko say repeat
not anybody, what? But yeah.
They still defending champs, Miko.
They are, and what? Then the next game on the schedule is Joe World at Shockwave. Dwayne, you did take Shockwave in this game. Billy took Shockwave and Angelo took Shockwave. And there was some shock waves going through this game. Ziggy said the week started this week and he was going to come get back to his winning ways. You guys was like, yeah, right. And the end of the game said that Ziggy was right. Joe World won this 7-6. 6 would seem to mean that you didn't get an extra point. So that would lead me to believe that your kicker was not there again?
Again, he wasn't there, but we still had extra point made, man. Charles just, a rare drop by Charles on extra point.
Was you going for one or two?
Went for one.
To tie it?
Well, we scored first.
Oh, you scored first, okay.
Yeah. He just simply dropped the ball.
Okay.
And then on extra point.
Mm-hmm.
And, and then we just gave up. I mean, we had one drive. The drive they scored on, we literally missed 4 sacks and 3 interceptions in one drive. in one drive. And they ended up scoring on the 4th down, Sweat back at the end zone. After I just told my defense that they're going to Sweat because he had just finished arguing with the quarterback. So I said, man, they about to force the ball to him. And when I say 2 plays in a row, man, it went right to him. And we dropped the interception on the first one. And the second we caught in the back of the end zone.
Okay.
And then we still came back down on the drive, to go in for the win. And the ball, unfortunately, got pitched to the other team. And around the 10-yard line.
It wasn't that player, was it?
What, huh?
Was it from that player?
No, it was that player over there.
Okay.
It was a man that don't ever pitch the ball. The man that never pitches the ball decided, today I'm gonna pitch the ball, and he pitched it right to Joe World. And that was ball game.
Okay. So the next game was our game of the week. New Jack versus Georgia Smoke.
Man, All the talk, all week.
This was an action-packed
Videos, everything came
We
down
were
with this
all
one, boy.
waiting on this game.
Oh man.
Let's see. Coming into this, Angelo, you and Dwayne picked New Jack. Billy picked Georgia Smoke. I would say, this game did not disappoint. It had everything that you wanted. I felt like for the most of the game, it was a defensive battle. There was one.
You right,
play
CZ.
that after when I saw it immediately, I knew something was going on. And I don't understand why Smoke didn't catch it. And, afterwards, I talked to Gates when we pulled the play up. It was 4th and 1. Smoke needed to stop the play to get the ball back and go down the field to try to win it. New Jack get the first down, and basically the game is over. I'm not saying I'm an expert on New Jack's offense.
Mm-hmm.
But anytime I see Miko lining up at the right guard spot, I would be willing to bet my bottom dollar Miko ain't about to stand on that line and block nobody. And then, especially when I only see Miko and Mike on the line. They don't even have a right guard. Miko was on the left. And then Javion was in the slot beside Miko, so you can't do nothing. You got to cover. So when I saw that formation, I'm like, okay, yeah, Miko's going out for a pass. And then I saw
Safe bet.
OC come down the line of scrimmage. Now, when I saw that, again, I said, that's something tricky with that. Because that looks like, when I ascertain, I see something, a wide receiver that I wouldn't normally see on the line of scrimmage, I feel like, it might be a crack on that. He coming to pick up something so somebody can release. Mm-hmm. And then that the play happened, Miko went to the back of the end zone. Mike did a slant. And had his choice of who he wanted to throw the touchdown to. And he threw it to Miko. Miko caught it. Game over. Smoke rushed. They had Cowboy and Shark on the line. OC picked up Shark and kind of pushed him into the person that was covering, coming in. And nobody got there. Rolled out and was in space. So I think defensively, in that situation, that might be something that they probably should have known better than. Because, again, if you saw Miko as the left guard, would you think he about to block somebody?
No.
And not to say that he can't. It could have been a trick play. But I'd have took my chances that Miko going out for a pass.
Facts.
Just like when you see Man line up, most of the time, Man about to beat you from that spot. And that's a mismatch. So, that took the score to 14-3 at the very end. But it really wasn't a blowout. Smoke played great defense. New Jack just out-strategized them. And that was just it.
Smoke had the 2 touchdowns that New Jack scored were deep balls that a Smoke player was there. They just didn't make the play. Mm-hmm. Miko caught the ball. He tapped it to himself like 3 times. he caught it 3 times, man, before he walked in the end zone. So, they just beat him on. And then the one that there was a boot. No, who caught that?
Javion. You talking about that super deep pass that just dropped right behind their defenders? Yeah, that was Javion. That was after Smoke had went up, and see, then the mistake also. New Jack missed the extra point, but then Smoke had the safety. Right after that, so that basically gave them the extra
that
points.
safety hurt.
That gave them the extra point
drop,
back.
That drop
and it
point.
wasn't so much that the 8-3 score was insurmountable, but that's when you saw the whole momentum change in the game.
I agree
and
with
New
that.
Jack just pounced and locked down, and then it was just like they really couldn't do much after that.
Miko said they touched the ball. They touched the 50 once, like I said in his pregame interview. Old dog say out physical them boys, got bullied.
Definitely. So it was a really, really, really intense battle. So I can't wait
That was a good. It was definitely a good game.
I would love to be able to see a rematch of some sort in the playoffs.
Yeah,
First round, second round, championship. I don't care, but I would hope that they can match up again because I think they gave us a good game.
It was a good game. Like I said, when it got to safety, it definitely turned all momentum. Yeah, it was a great kick, no doubt about it. When he dropped that one, and they were already just came off of the frustration, and then to get that safety, that hurt bad.
Yeah, that did.
That hurt bad.
Did.
But yeah, it was a good game. But yeah, but I do agree that they controlled. New Jack controlled. I thought controlled the game for the most part. Smoke had a couple opportunities that they blew. You know what I mean? They had, but it was a good rush as well that kind of put the pressure on Gio, and yeah, it was a good game. He said the wide receiver couldn't get the ball. Yeah, I mean, y'all beat them up pretty good. I ain't gonna front.
That's very true.
It was a good game though.
So on that one, Billy, you took that L all by yourself. And then the next game we had Shockwave at Predators. No surprise here. Dwayne and Lowe took Shockwave. Billy took Predators. Billy, you want to call in and talk about this game real quick? If you listening. Oh, okay.
Dwayne said, "You don't have to call." It was a good game, man. I mean, we struggled on offense that game bad. We had an opportunity late. We gave up outside rush, and Billy thought he was running a 4.340 in the middle of the field. But he was looking for that pitch. I saw he was trying to get rid of that ball. He was trying to find somebody to pitch it to. That monkey must have jumped on your back on Billy. But yeah, it was straight. They won the game. They did a good job defensively. We couldn't do much on offense. We finally had our kicker. We got a field goal out of it. But yeah.
Yeah, Predators took that game. They lost 1-6-1. Okay.
He said Billy should be practicing field goals right now. He said, "What we want?"
Yeah, so Predators took that game 8-3. So you guys went 0 for 2.
We did, man.
I think that's probably the first time in the league that y'all went 0 for 2 in a week.
Yeah, it's been a while, man.
And I know you didn't have Amos the second game.
We didn't.
Either.
We did not. You know what I mean? But we don't make that as an excuse. We just didn't execute.
And then next up we had LOZ at New Jack.
There was a bet on this game too.
What was the bet?
Made live on the podcast.
What was the bet again?
That LOZ wouldn't score.
Oh, that's right. Wouldn't score, wouldn't cross the 50.
Wouldn't score.
Wouldn't score. Okay. You're right. I can't. So prior to the game, one of the LOZ players came to me and said, "James, what you think? What's your prediction?" And I said, "Well, I think you have a lot of confidence. I don't think you're just going to go out there and fold and lay down." So I said, "We'll probably get a 17-8 game, 17-8." Because I was like, I think that you guys are athletic enough to not get blown out.
That's what I thought it was.
But I still think that they have the more experienced team. Now, I didn't know that, Miko was going to go to quarterback and they was going to do some other things, which, I don't think it hindered them. I just think it presented a different opportunity. So instead of the 17 points, they got 12 points. And, the LOZ did score, like I said, but I don't know. I didn't see their kicker there. I don't know if he showed up or not. Thomas, the white guy that normally kicks for them. I don't recall if he was there or not, but they did make their extra point. So It ended up being 12-6, which I don't think anyone was surprised that New Jack won. I just felt like New Jack was too much for LOZ at this point in time. But John did have a highlight in that game. He had
and he posted it.
a good highlight that we've seen throughout the world. So, shout out to John for that play. I know he was proud of that play. But, again, I don't want to say there's a surprise here that, LOZ lost. And like I said, I think the way New Jack started to, try different things with their offense, 20, 30 points wasn't expected from what they were doing.
Who got flipped like a Krabby Patty, Miko? He's the only scorer because of them 2 penalties in that one drive. Oh, you talking about the kicker ain't been seen since it got flipped. Okay. Is that what he's saying?
That won't their kicker.
Oh, so who you talking about got flipped like a Krabby Patty?
No. No, they had a different young man kicking for them. The refs helped them. You gave them 8. Flip saying that Miko gave up the 8. I think John caught a swing pass on the outside and ran down the sideline for their 6 points. I remember seeing that. This ain't the game.
So he can't run into the defender and establish position, but he love it. Osa say love the contact though. Yeah, Osa was out there delivering blows all day now.
So the next game
We saw you, bro.
on the schedule, we had Georgia Elite at Predators. No surprise here, Billy picked Predators. Dwayne, you also picked Predators. Angelo, you picked Predators. Nobody picked Georgia Elite. Coming in off of decent 1-1 start week 1. Billy was there, so they had their kicking game in place. Honor was there, so they had their quarterback in place, and their line, everything that was there. So Georgia Elite, of course, was not going to be able to pull this one out, but that doesn't mean that they're not a decent team. So Georgia Elite lost this by scoring 10, and Predators scored 8. So that in the reverse world, they lost because they scored too many points. But in the real world, they beat Predators.
GE knocked out the Predators. What was the score?
They beat them 10-8.
10-8.
10-8.
Wow.
Yes. So they scored. Billy, any comments on why?
He said dropping balls all game. Are you saying y'all were dropping balls, Billy? That what you saying?
So that must be why. Oh,
Said he made a hip movement, then almost walked it in with the lead block.
almost.
Put some respect to them G boys, 3-1. Yeah, no doubt.
So then the next game on the schedule, of course, you all took L's on that. With LOZ and YB, everybody picked YB. The score was 16-0 YB.
So LOZ didn't score that game.
No, they didn't score this game. I think for me,
What happened there, Big John?
and from my observation, I think they were still frustrated from what they thought was a closer almost game that they let slip away from New Jack.
So they felt like they were supposed to beat New Jack.
I think so.
Okay.
I think they felt like they had New Jack and had an opportunity to beat them. And so I think the frustration carried over. Might not have been exactly what reality was, but I think, sometimes when it's close, you think you can do certain things, and then they don't happen. That can linger. But
He said missed field goal and drop passes. G did what they're supposed to do. So missed field goal, Billy. That's you, sir.
Yeah,
Know what he's trying to say? That white you gotta be practicing your field goal right now, huh? Missed field goal, drop passes, do it every time.
And then so you all picked YB in that game, so that's what that was. The next game, YB and Georgia lead. Again, no surprise here. You all picked YB.
Mm-hmm.
This was an intense battle. This was a game I don't think many people expected Georgia Elite to be able to score multiple times against YB. So I think, when, YB's multiple scoring opportunities was what everybody expected. But I think on Sunday, Montel came out there with a different mentality. Montel came out there like he had a chip on his shoulder with something to prove. At the end of the game, Georgia Elite was up 22-14 on YB. And
Wow.
So Georgia Elite scored and YB came back and answered it as we expected. Then Georgia Elite scored again and got excited, and YB came back and answered it just like we expected. So then Georgia Elite scored again, and now we getting down. So it's time for YB to drive the ball and score as we expect. Georgia Elite was able to hold them off. And so they got they got excited.
Ooh, burnt them deep.
And then Georgia Elite gets the ball back, but they don't score again. They have to kick the ball off again. And now they have
on
to
the fake extra point.
stop Man and or Trey. And YB gets the ball and Georgia Elite stops them. Both of them. And wins the game 22-14.
Wow.
And so,
Shout out GE, man.
shout
Shout out GE. Go ahead, Coach Smooth.
I don't know why he cut back inside though. I think he had that outside lane. But I was
That's all
surprised. I'm not gonna say that, to go 2-0 and to stop. My bigger surprise was they stopped YB twice at the end of the game. Twice. The one time I was like, okay, but the second time I kind of felt like YB might go ahead and do their little YB magic. And, but they stopped them. And so it was like, whoa. So now it's like you got to clean out your glasses and take a good look at Georgia Elite now.
Facts. D said Montel was balling.
He was definitely balling,
All right, G.
To beat Predators is like, okay, that can happen. But to beat Predators and YB in the same weekend and stop YB twice, I was really surprised and shocked at that one. So I ain't even gonna hold you. That was a great game from them, great game plan from Smooth. And, shout out to the players out there working hard with all the people that bailed on you and because they felt like you weren't good enough and left you out there to rebuild. But they rebuilt. So Georgia Elite has to be somebody we're looking at. New Jack scored in the first half, nothing in the second half. We have to capitalize on stuff like that. Miko, they picked against Predator was smooth. Oh, the pick against Predators was smooth. We ain't have to, Big John. See, that's kind of sort of how I felt. And again, nothing against LOZ, but I don't think New Jack really put much effort in the second half because I don't think they felt like they needed to. Whereas, and that's why I say I feel like LOZ felt like they left something on the table because it was such a close score. I just think New Jack just was doing different things, working on stuff here and there, not necessarily trying to score. I think if LOZ had scored and took the lead, I think New Jack would have went back to a different game plan. Or if they got close and threatened to score, I think New Jack would have went to a different game plan. But we can all say what we thought could have happened.
Okay.
Oh, John said they had the ball last, and y'all could have scored. And I was like, yeah, but see, John, that's what I'm saying. Y'all had the ball last. I think they changed their defense up to prevent that. But nonetheless, y'all will see each other again. I'll put y'all on the schedule next year.
Miko said practice game, getting ready for Virginia Beach.
So, let's see. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Okay, Angelo, you 5-5.
Damn.
Rough day.
Yeah, that's rough. I don't remember going 5-5.
Dwayne, you
Damn.
no, wait a minute.
The low carb Lords said we let that game slip away from us, definitely. Now, what team are you with, low carb Lords? Which game you let slip away?
No. Outside of
They really feel they had a chance.
No, I'm sorry. You're 4-6.
What?
Yeah. 4-6. Yeah, I had to mess that up because Rare Form lost. You picked them. Joe World lost. You picked them. Outsiders lost. You picked them. Shockwave lost. You picked them.
Wait a minute, you talking about Dwayne?
No.
What I picked
Oh,
up?
wait a minute. I'm looking at, you know what? I'm looking at the game schedule, not what your picks.
I'm
My
about to
bad.
say,
Hold
wait a
on.
minute now. I'm about to say, wait a minute, you talking about Dwayne?
Hold on. Okay, so you picked Outsiders. So Joe Lurl, you picked them. That's the one loss. Shockwave, that's 2 loss. Shockwaves, that's 3 loss. Predators, that's 4 loss. YB, so okay, yeah, you 5-5. And Dwayne, you are. You pick Rare Form, they lost. You pick Joe World, they lost.
Oh, LOZ.
You pick
Oh, so LOZ
Outsiders,
said you let the game slip away.
they lost.
Okay.
Shockwave, they lost. That's 4.
He said let it
Big
slip away. They
Shockwave,
ain't just
that's
get beat.
5. Predators, that's 6. You 3-7, Dwayne. But I think you were leading in the.
Dwayne was what?
3-7.
Oh,
And then
damn.
Billy, let's see, 4-6.
Yeah,
1 loss,
I don't know.
2 loss, 3 loss,
He got it on.
4 loss,
He got it on the show. Will say record the stage, Dwayne.
5 loss.
He said recording it.
Okay, so Billy, you 5-5 as well that week. So that's a total of 8. 5 is 13. Plus 5 is 18. Plus 7. Angelo, right now you are 25 and 2, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11. You're 25 and 11. Dwayne, you are 12. 8 is 20. You're 23 and 13. And Billy, you are 5, 11, 17 plus 23. Yeah, you're the same as so Lowe's only up 2 games on y'all. That's not bad. That's not insurmountable.
Yeah. So far. I ain't gonna have a bad week like that again.
Yeah, so coming up the next week. Okay. First game will start at Carver. We have Georgia Smoke at Predators. We know Billy's going with Predators. So, Dwayne, Georgia Smoke, or Predators? All right. Low.
I'm a roll. I got smoke.
Okay.
Miko, smoke, Billy. Billy, we know what you picking.
Next game we got Shockwave at Georgia Smoke. So Billy, what you got? Because we know what they go pick. This they get back game for them not picking them.
Javante say Predators weren't gonna win 21-6. Javante Ezra said Predators gonna beat Smoke 21-6. Billy got smoked.
Billy got smoked.
Miko say Smoke again. Low Carb Lloyd's got the Predators.
Okay, next we got Predators at rare form. Low.
I'm gonna roll Predators on this one.
Low got Predators.
Rare form.
Billy go take Predators. Dwayne. We taking what Predators? Okay, moving right along. Okay, Billy.
Javante got Predators on the bounce back.
Huh?
Javante said he got Predators on the bounce back.
Okay. Billy, we got Shockwave at rare form. Who you got?
Shockwave rare form. Billy, who you got? Man, we fighting for our playoff lives this weekend.
Oh, you know what? Let me give everybody the standings real quick.
We fighting for our playoff lives this weekend, man.
So here are the current standings in the league before we go through this. So in the pro division, we have New Jack at number 1 at 4-0. We got Georgia Smoke at number 2 at 4-1. We have Georgia Elite at number 3 at 3-1. We have Outsiders at number 4 at 2-2. We have Predators at 5 at 2-2. We have YB holding down the 6th playoff spot at 2-2. On the outside looking in at 7, we have Shockwave at 1-3. Rare Form is 8 at 1-3. LOZ is 9 at 1-3. And Joe World is 10 at 1-3. So spots 4 through 10 are all separated by 1 game. So it's not over. This is definitely, you can tell right now, it's coming down to the last week of the season. In the comp division, we have in first place the mighty
Krispy Kreme boys.
P&F, not giving up a point the whole season, putting up 62 points. 4-0 P&F. In second place, we have the 4-0 United. They've only given up 7 points. In third place, we have the 5-1 Scared Raiders at 5-1. They duck in DOA. In fourth place, we have DOA at 4-1. In fifth place, in the playoff hunt, with a spot secured if it were to end today, are the Swamp Bucks at 3-2. And holding down the 6th and final spot currently is the Crew at 1-3. That 7th spot right now, we have the Zoo Atlanta right on the outside. Right behind them in the 8th spot is TYB. And in the final spot at 0-10 is Goon Squad.
Say 0-10.
So,
all right, so back to your pick. Billy picked Shockwave.
Billy picked Shockwave.
Miko said rare form. Still gonna be there. I don't know.
If rare form don't win on Sunday, it might be really hard. Even though things are close, it's gonna be really hard for them to make the playoffs unless they go on the offensive barrage for the rest of the season. Okay, so the next game on the agenda would be Outsiders at YB.
That's gonna be a good one.
Outsiders at YB. Billy?
That's gonna be a good one now. That's a playoff matchup. YB's 3-1. What's YB? You said it were? You said YB was 3-1? 2-2? Billy picked Outsiders. Miko picked YB.
Last week. They were 2-2.
2-2. So both of them 2-2.
You say Billy picked who?
Billy picked Outsiders. Miko picked YB.
Dwayne. You sound confident in that. Low.
You got YB, you said?
Yeah.
Billy got Outsiders. I'm going, man, that's going to be a good game. I'm going to go YB.
Okay.
That's going to be a good one, though.
All right. Low took YB. Okay. So the next game we got YB at New Jack. Low.
That game of the week. That ain't gonna be game of the week. I'm gonna go, man.
The Outsiders YB is going to be game of the week.
Outsiders YB. I'm gonna go New Jack. But I'm gonna say Outsiders plays New Jack extremely well. I always say they play them extremely well. They really do.
Dwayne.
New Jack YB.
New Jack YB.
Billy got New Jack.
Billy got New Jack. New Jack for the Queen Sweep. Okay. Will New Jack go 2-0? We will know this in the next game when they face Outsiders. And Dwayne, who you got?
Low card, so you got YB with the upset.
Dwayne has New Jack.
Says New Jack and who?
Outsiders.
New Jack, yeah.
Billy.
Billy got New Jack.
Billy got New Jack. Angelo.
I already picked New Jack.
No, this is the next game.
Oh.
You picked New Jack in the last one against YB.
No, I said for both of them.
Okay. All right. So then the next game we have Georgia Elite. at-
Miko say 2-0 easy. Ooh, not easy, Miko.
Georgia Elite at Joe World. Billy.
That's what he said, D. He said easy. That's what he said now.
Who we got, Bills? Joe World hosting Georgia Elite.
Osi say tough or easy either way at 2-0. Billy got GE. Who you got, Dwayne? Georgia Elite too. Dang. Yeah, I'm gonna go GE too.
Okay. Georgia Elite for the clean sweep.
He said me and my background dancer got a special performance at halftime. Stay tuned.
The next game we have probably our first team eliminated. LOZ hosting Joe World. Pretty sure the loser of this game is going to be eliminated from the playoffs. Because it's just going to be too many games to try to make up.
Miko say LOZ.
Dwayne, Joe World, LOZ.
Billy got Joe World.
Dwayne is taking Joe World.
Billy took Joe World. I'm going LOZ.
Dwayne is out on the limb. Angelo's going on the limb. He's taking LOZ. He feel like John got something to prove.
I'm going rooting for
John's
get it, John.
coming out there to show. All right. So last game of the day over at Carver, we have Georgia Elite hosting LOZ.
Who is it?
Georgia Elite hosting LOZ.
Ooh.
Dwayne. Uh-huh.
Billy got LOZ. I'm going GE. Well, you shouldn't ask. Dang, Miko said the gang gonna be over by halftime. Dang, outsiders.
Okay, moving on over to Thero. We have
Miko said they praying they don't show up again. That's crazy. My Gemini turned on a second ago too.
These things just start talking. Over in comp, we have Georgia Raiders at the mighty Swamp Box.
Georgia Raiders.
Dwayne. Georgia Raiders and Swamp Box. Billy.
Raiders. Billy said Raiders.
Next game we have TYB at Zoo.
Oh man. Oh man. TYB and Zoo.
I think it would be safe to say that this won't be an offensive shootout between the two quarterbacks.
Billy said at. Is it? Oh wait, yeah. At what? That's the problem.
Billy choosing at.
There's a tough at right here. Billy got TYB.
Okay, Billy.
I'm going with them Zoo boys, man.
If everybody pick TYB, nobody can be wrong.
I'm going with Zoo. TYB. Yeah. They had to schedule him. You saw him earlier. What the? You saw him earlier pitch the ball over there.
Zoo got the same forfeit win.
That's true.
You phoning a friend? Let's see.
Who you got?
Cause didn't some TYB players go come to Atlanta? Huh?
Huh?
Did some of TYB players come to Atlanta?
No, they got some DOA
Come on, Dwayne.
players.
Flip a coin, man. Let go. Pick the game, man. Let go. TYB, there it is.
Okay. That's what's up. I like this. I like y'all giving TYB an opportunity. Low.
I already picked. I said Zoo.
Oh, you going with the Zoo?
Yeah, I picked Zoo.
So Low gonna take that long L that game. Okay. So are you going with the Zoo for 2-0?
No.
So the next game is the Zoo and the Crew.
Yeah, I'm going with the Crew.
Yeah. They got some. I mean, those better be playing, man.
Though will not be the reason they lose this game. I don't know, but I think he's gonna
Regardless,
make
he
a
ain't
point to make sure he ain't the reason. Billy, who you got? Billy got the Crew. Okay. All right. The next game. Do y'all feel confident that the Crew can go 2-0?
Who they playing? TYB?
I'm just asking. So that would lead me to believe you don't believe they can beat anybody else.
Who they playing?
The Crew will be playing TYB.
God, dog. Crew going 2-0.
Billy, who you got? I don't know. Man, they are going in. We see these comments.
Hey, they
guys.
going in, man.
Yeah, we see these comments. We're not ignoring you. Billy got the Crew. Okay. All right, so the Crew, the whole panel has picked you for a clean sweep. Now, the next 3 games is where the road hits the rubber. And we're going to start out with our number 1 undefeated PNF facing our last season number 1 9-1 DOA. Billy, we are going to start with you. PNF or DOA?
The Krispy Kreme boys.
Not even a sniff.
60-something to 0.
62 to 0.
Billy got PNF.
Dwayne got PNF. Angelo, you got PNF and that vaunted offense with that stifling defense? Or you feel like B. Marsh go cook up something to ruin that party?
I'm going with the party. DOA.
You got DOA. Okay.
I'm going DOA.
All right. So, Angelo, do you think DOA can ride that to a 2-0 victory?
Who they got?
Or do you think United is going to put a stamp on it? Because they are also undefeated at 4-0 and have only given up 7 points.
So we got DOA and United.
Yeah.
Billy got DOA. I'm going United.
Dwayne, DOA or United?
Quick. Give me a checkbook.
DOA or United? Will United stay undefeated? United is undefeated.
Both of them undefeated.
And have no. DOA is 3-1.
Oh, okay.
PNF and United are both undefeated.
That's right.
PNF hasn't given up any points. United has only given up 7. You going with United? Okay. What could end up being? Somebody got to lose. Everybody can't go undefeated.
Who is it?
United at PNF. The two first play teams battling it out. Two undefeated teams.
Quick. W9.
Let me make sure I get this right before I say this. But I think I'm correct. Let me research this real quick. Okay. So we have the number 1 offense versus the number 4 offense. And we have the number 1 defense versus the number 2 defense. Dwayne, who do you have? PNF hosting United. Like I said, that's the number 1 offense versus the number 2 defense. And the number 2 defense versus the number 4 offense. The 9 is number 4. 42. I don't know. And this is my comp game of the week. Dwayne's going PNF. I feel like Angelo is going United.
So we got PNF versus who?
United. Billy, who you got?
You got PNF. I'm actually going PNF right here.
Ooh, Orlando. They diminished your star.
I gotta win. I gotta win the first game though. I gotta win the first game.
Okay.
I think it's gonna be a nice little battle. We're all on going to take their first L this weekend.
Interesting. Okay.
Just gonna say Montavious, you the Jackers' main background dancer. Montavious, he the lead singer. Let the flag world tell it.
So Dwayne and Billy got PNF staying undefeated, and Angelo has PNF and United both losing a game. Okay. Angelo, if you are correct, well, it'll stay tied. Billy, if you and Dwayne are correct, then PNF will continue to separate themselves from the pack. So this is going to be an interesting Sunday.
Very.
Yeah. Okay. Well, A, we all off the leash, little bro. D, just control your bench warmers over there. Like OC, like Miko, us starters talking right now. Come on. Nah, I'm performing by myself. I'm the only background singer. I'm the lead singer.
Sure.
Nah, that might say because I don't want nobody to say I'm taking shots.
All right.
This ain't what the film tell. Okay. So far we've had a great first 2 weeks of the season. We've seen some good ball out there. You know, clearly we have two teams in each division that have asserted themselves as a dominant force and have put the targets on their back. I would think it's clear to say that P&F is the target in comp and New Jack is the target in pro. But, you know, again, United's right on their coattail in the comp. And surprisingly, it seems like Georgia lead and is, you know, looking like they're trying to put themselves right under New Jack. This week will be critical to see. Will it be Georgia Elite or Georgia Smoke? One of those two teams is going to emerge as the contender for New Jack. I can't wait to see this is going to be. It's going to be Father's Day, so I know everyone's going to be out there enjoying themselves, you know, just playing the game so that they can go home and be with their family and children and, you know, wives and things like that. So I don't expect there to be any situations. Please watch the illegal hits, know what they are. You may not get away with them next week. While they used to be legal, they're no longer legal. Take care of your trash on the sidelines. Don't go off to the corner where you think I don't see you smoking weed and smoke weed. Make sure that if you have a parking fine that it's paid by tomorrow at the end of the day. We just dropped our flyer for a Bayou Brawl registration for that. We are taking deposits for that now, and registration will be available tomorrow. We had a lot of teams interested, so I hope to see some of you guys coming down there. Brawl for it all, of course, it's going to be big as usual. We're getting a lot of deposits on that. And next weekend, we have our Virginia Beach tournament. We have New Jack, Outsiders, Joe World, and YB attending that. If you would like to go and don't have a team, I would suggest that you reach out to one of those four teams. There are a few spots available. I think that we should make sure Atlanta is not going up there shorthanded, struggling in that 98-degree heat. But, you know, if you want to go and play, you feel like you can help, and you got to buy this week, go on up there and help them. Lo, you got anything?
No, man. Some great games last weekend. Look like this weekend is going to be just as exciting on both sides. Looking forward to it, man. Some teams like ours got some work to do. This is when you take the challenge, man, head on and push forward. Looks like some good football, man. Looking forward to checking it out.
That's what's up.
Philip said these weeks everyone got to show up. Playoffs on the line. You right?
That's it. You're absolutely right.
This is a critical.
Somebody's playoff
it's a critical
life
week.
is on the line.
It's a critical
right
week
now.
right here.
You know, man, the food truck gonna be there. The food truck has been here every week. They just sometimes have not gotten there for them first games, but they've been there every week. So, but what you worried about it for? We go eat good when we go home to Virginia. We go get some real seafood.
I was saying folks getting hit
This
regardless.
stuff that these people call, huh?
He said folks getting hit regardless. All going John.
Yeah, just
John,
make sure they're not illegal. That's all.
John, and turned them up. He said everybody gonna pay. John got him turned up, boy.
That's what I be talking about with them useless double quarter. What was that? Rewind that, Dwayne. I I need to see that again real quick.
He said, better bring your tiger bomb.
Because he threw that, there was nobody even there. Like, it wasn't even a receiver over there. Anywho.
Yep.
Yeah, I'm getting
Some yacht. What you know about
Oh
yacht?
my God.
What you know
I
about
ain't had
yacht,
no
man?
Yakame in so long. Look, when I came down here to the Chinese restaurants and was asking for it, they was looking at me like I was crazy.
Yeah, they don't know what
I'm
that
like,
is.
what you mean you don't know what yak is?
Man.
Oh God, I can't wait to get some yak when I go home.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
God, or go to Eddie's Crab House off Campostella and get me some fried crabs. But people down here don't know what fried crabs are. Oh my God. I can't wait to go home and eat good.
Now, that ain't my spot. Is what's the one in Portsmouth? One is Portsmouth, man. Down the street where the old mall used to. What's that? What's the name of that?
By Tower, where Tower Mall used to be?
Yeah.
What are you talking about, Mike? Because you know, P-Town on my side of the world. That was
That's my first.
not what we frequented.
It's my first stop when I land.
But
my
you know they
first
got the
stop.
casino over there now.
Yeah, I finally went last time I was home.
I probably hang out over there for a second, but then they broke ground on the casino in Norfolk, so
I heard.
you know it'll be up in a couple of years. But definitely, there's a better bring your tiger. There's a meet and greet on Friday night. So for any of the people that are going to be there on Friday, definitely come
Now,
out.
Mama Chains is one of them, but it's not the one I'm talking about. But Mama Chains is one of them, though.
Oh yeah, I've
This
eaten at
is,
Mama Chains. Yeah, but the meet and greet on Friday night out at the beach. So if you're in town for that, please come out. I'll make sure everybody get the information for the teams that are there. And listen, it's gonna be hot. You know, whoever driving, bring a tent, bring a cooler. It's gonna be hot. Last year was 95. I looked at the temperature. I think it's gonna be 98. It's gonna be hot, and it's gonna be humid because we have humidity.
Tony's. That's what I'm talking about. Tony's is my first stop.
Oh, okay. Now, my very first stop when I drive in is always 7-Eleven. I get a big bite and a Slurpee, and I go to the one on 58 because we don't have 7-Elevens here. I miss them.
I know that's right.
But yeah, so all right, guys. We will see you on the field on Sunday.
Yeah, good luck to everybody this weekend, man. Do y'all thing. Keep it fun. Keep it in the lines, though. Keep it in the lines. Good football.
All right. Well, we are out of here.
Hey, man. Well, there it is, man. 5-Star Sports. Week 3 is up next. After this, some of us have a week off. Unfortunately, we're not making the Virginia Beach trip as a team. Very disappointed, but good luck to everybody that is going. And shoot, let's make it happen, fellas. ATL Flag Football podcast, and we out. Peace.